Hello, I'm Marcus Allman. I'm going to read from this book that I wrote. It's called Things to Shout Out Loud at Parties. Let's run into that pet shop with shotguns and demand that all God's creatures be set free. Free the bulldog. Send the hamsters out into the street. Central Park will be a wild place again. When the police aren't looking, we'll free their horses and spank them all a good one on the ass of freedom. Her dress twisted and spun like a mangled roll of paper towels. Flowers and strips of material floated in all directions like confetti. She was a molting bird of beauty, that one. She dragged me around to bars and parties all over the city and left a trail of feathers and beaded necklaces behind her. I told her that if we got too high, we could use her dress as a parachute. I am not a religious man, but I can see things that tell me that I'm connected with all and all is connected with me. And I love because it's my most natural state. And I remind myself to let go of anger as soon as I can remember to do that. And I believe I have a soul because I have smelled the first day of spring and I have listened to Aretha Franklin on vinyl. And the things I feel in those moments cannot be explained by science. She reflected the stars and moon off of her like a midnight roller coaster. Drips of dew clung to her because she was the coolest thing moving in the summer air. Her smile lit the highways for truckers and businessmen to find their way home. And although you can't capture the sky, I'll be damned if I didn't try. And she was mine for a while, a short while, but the best I've known. They tell us we're only here for a short time. Then they tell us the most important thing is showing up to work on time and maxing out that 401k. But I don't know, most nights I just wish we had a car and a couple bottles of wine to watch a sunrise from a city we've never been to before. I want to take my shoes off and freshly cut grass. I want to spray you with a garden hose. I want to climb a tree and have problems with washing the sap off my hands. I want to take you to the local flea market and have a good laugh about what people think is worth money. And I want to make you dinner and sip wine with you under the stars. And I don't want to do this for a day or for a long weekend. I want to do this for the rest of our lives. And I want you to be there every night. I sometimes see my great-grandmother. In the afterlife, she is 6 feet tall, has giant feathered wings, and wears a thin white dress. I didn't realize it was her until I saw an old family picture recently. She was quite beautiful in her earthly youth and seems free and strong in the afterlife. She takes care of me when I need help. The sexiest people I know have a kind heart and a very strong belief in themselves. I miss the way she would enter a room after a fresh shower, eyes still batting tap water and skin steaming and goosebumped. I miss the way she would tell me everything was fine even during my darkest moments. Beautiful girls, the ones who jump into the ocean with their clothes off and never drink more than their mothers would find appropriate. The ones who always insist on buying their own ticket even after you've told them that you've put them on the guest list. Those bright-eyed, beautiful girls are what makes the world spin, I think. Without them, the sun would just give up. They ask meaningful questions because they are sincerely interested and they don't feel like talking about themselves. But you don't care which one of you is speaking. It's a good night as long as you can gaze across the table at each other and the card at the bar hasn't been declined. Growing old is a lot like learning how to take care of a car. When you first start driving, it's really fun to speed and crash and take road trips and make love in the back seat. But when you get older, you know you should really change the oil and keep an eye on the dashboard for engine warning lights. And it's still okay to fuck in the back, but maybe put a blanket down so you don't mess up the resale value. Dancing with the parking lot lights in her eyes, she shook all of her fears and worries away in the wind. We all looked on to figure out how she did it. Was it in her feet? Or the way she moved those knees of hers? Was it in that summer dress that she threw around like she was taunting a bull? Was it in that hair of hers that bounced and danced like a weeping willow in a rainstorm? For a second, we all thought that she stole our fears and concerns and stomped them out cold with her own on the pavement. But when the dance stopped and she skipped off and laughing ecstatic, those concerns came back to us onlookers. We were ordinary, and the power of dance was hers and hers alone.